Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are back at the Jiu Burger Joint, and this is to take the Daffy, the in-games version of the Citroën 2CV, and just make it pay for itself by doing burger deliveries. So right now my bank balance is minus 8,000, so that's the exact price of the car, and I'll be using this vehicle to not only get me back into plus, but also then, once I get a bit of money, apply a few upgrades, and we are going to see how far we can get here. It was a bit of setup. I didn't plan for this to be a nighttime episode, but in the end, yeah, I couldn't go anywhere else to sleep and then teleport back here without paying for anything. So this is what we have to deal with right now. The way this is going to work is we are just opening up both doors here and then just driving in here in reverse, getting us the burgers and then going across town to do different deliveries. So of course, since I have a capacity of 5, it would be nice taking all of those to the same place, and this seems a good opportunity. Again, we cannot take any more. So let's get out of here. I'm not just rolling, this is how fast the car is right now, just with complete default parts, and that's also the reason why I wouldn't want to drive across the entire island here just to get to a bed and make it daytime again. I'm sorry, but I mean, nighttime is pretty nice in this game, and it should still be good enough to see a lot of the stuff here. And I hope we are fast enough to get the bonus from the get-go, otherwise it's gonna be a bit of time before we can even get a better engine, because that's definitely gonna be my first upgrade that I'm planning on. I might just be taking an inline 4 engine, since that will already give the car a bit more power and should be good enough here. Okay, getting the bonus for the first few items is huge. Don't know why the last one only gave me 500 compared to the over 1k for the rest. But we already paid for half of the car itself here, which is nice. And yeah, a few things I should also mention. I deactivated my buses for this episode, so there's nothing driving around to give me any additional income. This is only gonna be on the car here, and the deliveries that I'm doing here. So anything else is out of the question. And I also won't be taking any freebies from leftover parts. Anything that I want to install in this car today has to be freshly bought, even if I already have a few duplicates. Just so that I don't get around a lot of stuff here. And apart from getting a better engine to begin with, and also a few other upgrades like lowering the car down to the ground, really making it a racer in the end, I don't have much of a concrete plan for anything here. This is just the overall thing, and we are going to see how far we can get in maybe half an hour or something. So let's see, another 5 to about the same place. That's gonna be taking 3 of them, and let's go. We can actually see them in the back, and I'm a bit annoyed that I cannot get a 4th one in there, because it seems like there should be enough space. But that also seems to be the same way for a lot of the other small cars. Burgers, they can only take 3 of those. And that's the same for the Mickey and also the Stella. So Stella is what used to be one of the very few compact cars in the game for a long time. Until we got a few more additions. It's the Ford Fiesta looking like. And the Mickey is of course the one that I upgraded to a race car for that one racing event quite a while ago. Speaking of racing events, I already dialed in what I want to do with the Formula SCM. I gave it a bit of a paint job, which makes it look quite nice. But I'll likely have to figure out how the car is going to deal with the actual race tracks. I just saw the announcement for the actual event, which is on really short notice this time around, but yeah, I'll give it a try, see how it works out with actual text, and then see if I'm gonna need to do any more changes to the vehicle. I managed to make it a bit more stable, so it's not gonna oversteer over time, just spin out in the corners. But it's still really not an easy car to drive by any means. So while I'm looking forward to the event, I'm not entirely sure how well I'll be able to perform. There can be a lot of things happening, and we'll have to see about it. But yeah, next episode will most likely be the one after the event. Depending on how it goes, I may go in depth about what happened there. Otherwise, as per usual, by the time this episode comes out, you can most likely already find the... there's another with 420. You can most likely already find all the videos about the different races in the Motortown playlist. I'll always get those out in unlisted as soon as I make the videos, or as soon as I have the event. But really talking about it, just making a full episode about it, or just mentioning after the fact, it's gonna take a few times because we're just gonna slot in with the regular uploads. Also, when it comes to regular uploads, I think I want to tune it down a bit here. Oh, we are already in the plus. We could almost buy another one of these cars, which I don't see why I would be doing that. I think it's about time I slow down the series a little bit. I had a few weeks where I was basically uploading one video per day, and considering these are around 30 minutes, I think that's kind of a big commitment for anybody to keep up with that. So I want to give people a bit more of a breather, and therefore just maybe making an upload every other day, or at least have a few days a week where I either make another video for a different game, or just have a bit of a break. Daily uploads really are not my thing, despite me still wanting to continue playing this game quite a bit, but it's just, I think it needs to be balanced a bit better in the long run. Okay, we got a bit of damage, doesn't really matter too much, but it's time to get a few parts. First up, the engine, because 30 horsepower H2 engine is not amazing. We want the 150 horsepower inline 4. This should already turn this into quite a different type of vehicle. I also want to go with short intake for more power. I don't think we need more torque here. Coolant radiator, sure, why not? That's gonna be a must-have in the long run anyways. Turbocharger, that's something to still wait for. 5-sport speed, yeah, I think this is also gonna be important. Can't change the final drive ratio now, so I hope it's still at least halfway alright. And yeah, that's just gonna be it for this one. Already sounding quite different, of course. And yeah, this one now has at least a little bit more pep to it, and I don't think I'll be quite in as much of a rush with all the deliveries now. It should be far easier to get the on-time bonus consistently. Yeah, I think the next thing would be suspension, so we are now getting into the more expensive parts. I think I would need like 16k for fully lowering the car if I want to go with minus 10 centimeters on all the wheels. Not entirely sure if I want to aim for that, but I think I should get that type of money in order to at least have a bit of spare if I need to. Okay, let's see, I may as well order them by pay, so I don't just miss out on anything. Let's go with a 420 location again and just blaze it. I'm tempted to just shortcut across somebody's backyard. I think this would be, yeah, this is working out. Funny enough that I'm doing this now, since I don't want to upgrade this to an off-road version. But I think in the long run, once the next event comes up with these cars again, these small, lightweight hatchbacks and just generally compact cars are something that is raced quite often on the TWL server, especially with stronger i4 engine. This is something that's always good to have, especially when you are having one of them as an off-road car and the other one more for on-road performance. So a bit lower with stiffer springs and all of that. Oh god. And yeah, this is making me quite a bit of money in a short amount of time, so that's exactly what I want here. So are we going back to the construction site? There are some locations in the town west of us in Oido, which usually give us a very good payment, but I think they might be restricted to pizza deliveries. Usually they come up quite often, and I'm a bit surprised that we don't see them with burgers right now. Oh god. Yeah, I definitely need a better suspension. This would have been very expensive if I needed to reset the car. Oh, I was just about to say stop rolling or stop just sliding about. Yeah, I need to call roadside service and that real quick. Still gonna make the delivery on time, so that's alright. 10k, and I mean, I could go back to the tuning shop and already get myself some harder springs and maybe dampers. But I think I'll just see how I can deal with the entire car being a bit lower to the ground. Also need to do something about the brakes soon enough and all of that. I'm not entirely sure what to go for first. The entire car is very twitchy right now. It's really not made for this kind of power. This might be one of the lightest cars in the game. I think when it comes to the four ones from the recent event. So that's this one here, the Mickey, which I upgraded to the off-road racing car. The Jeep and the Coma, which is a Mini Cooper version in-game. Among all of those, this might be the lightest one. So this should be quite the beast if I can manage. Yeah, maybe after this delivery I can actually go and get some very important parts. Seems like this is really just gonna be going back and forth between the burger joint and the construction site. They must be hungry over there. Okay, we are at 17k. That means that we can tip the car over again. You know what? I never said that I have to reset it all the time. I can just spawn it in, which is a bit more on the cheaper side. If I still had stuff loaded, that would have also lost me my cargo. So that's why I didn't want to do it a moment ago, but yeah, I think it's about time we invest in lowering the center of mass a bit. Or mass, whatever. The car handles like a mess right now, and just Going sideways from hitting the brakes, this is not ideal. I don't think I'll even need stronger brakes here. So let's go to suspension and let's see how fully reduced ride height would be looking. I think that's pretty perfect. Maybe down to 8 centimeters, but you know what? Let's do 10 centimeters for. Oh, I'm an idiot. What I was talking about was wheel spacers, and I just completely wasted a lot of money here. We need 40k for lowering the car. This is not great. Okay, you know what? Since stupidity wasn't really part of the plan, let me get my money back. And let's just we can lower it by 4 centimeters. That's what we have enough money for. I think maybe now going with stiffer suspension might be the better idea. I want to go with 200%. Buying 4 of those. Dampers can also go with 200% here. Alright. So this should already be quite a bit better. I don't know how much I can put out the wheels to each side. I mean, I could really go wide with the front wheels, but with the back ones having that slightly annoying wheel arch cover. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. Would be nice getting an option to remove that, so that it's also an open fender like in the front. But I think this already helped out quite a bit. Lowering the car would be amazing, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we can make 40k today. Unless we completely ignore everything else here. And in the end right now, it's about getting the car as good as it can be with the limited amount of time. And everything else is something that I'll likely be doing off screen. Unless you guys want me to do the rest of the thing like I'm doing right now as well. You can definitely let me know about this. I might not be touching this car anytime soon anymore. Gonna be doing a bit more testing with the Formula car for the event. And then there's also a whole lot of other things that I have planned. But this is definitely something that we could come back to. Just getting as much money as we can do in this episode, spending as much of that as we can, and then seeing what we can do with the rest next time. Or more like next time I would then reset back to 0 and we would just keep on going. Maybe doing the same thing in downtown. And then just going from there. Also hoping we'll get another few fast food restaurants soon. Especially if we get another town in OG. Could be multiple towns on there, but well. Right now there's really not much going on with residential. There are a few houses in Gappa, but for the most part there's really more of an industrial farming settlement. Also might as well turn it into drift mode. I don't think it's gonna change too much about the car's behavior. But hey, at least it's not constantly spinning out. So yeah, doing burger stuff is really lucrative here. But keep in mind, this is only possible to this extent because I did all the supply chain stuff beforehand. If I didn't, I could still sell burgers, but they would be far less valuable. So this is really the reward for doing the entire supply chain. Or honestly, especially in multiplayer, I mean, they already nerfed this stuff quite a bit, which is definitely appropriate. I think in multiplayer it's always good to make it so that not any job is like too valuable. Is there anything else here? Ah, that one. The thing is, in multiplayer you can easily end up with a situation where one guy is doing the first part of the supply chain, another few are doing the second part, and then the last guy doing the final delivery is making all the money. So unless they were to instance the entire thing, like let's say if I go online, I've never done anything with milk deliveries or cheese, meat, whatever, I won't be seeing any premium pizzas and burgers at the joints. And basically I only ever get the rest of the supply chain for the amount of stuff that I did for the earlier thing, kinda instancing the entire way the supply chain works. I'm not entirely sure if I would enjoy that more. It would certainly make a few things a bit fairer, especially since some people, they just come onto the server, empty out one of the burger joints and never do anything else, and then also just complain about the place needing more resources. So I think it would help out dealing with those people. But also it would just get rid of the entire aspect about multiplayer being a cooperative experience, where people are working together to get to a common goal and do stuff like that. So I'm not entirely sure how to handle it. There are definitely pros and cons to either way. But maybe it could be an option. For example, another thing that I cannot do in multiplayer is the whole setup that I have with my military supply crates right now. They are just sitting like 15, 20 or something at the different locations, waiting for me to get them again if I need a lot of money at one point. And I can also just increase the amount of stuff in there, so I can still get more crates to those places. On the TWL server, it's generally a rule that if you put the military crates into one of those areas where they are filled up, you are free to also take them back to the military base to make the full amount. But if you just leave them there, somebody else is gonna pick them up. And I think that's fair enough. I had one instance where somebody came by and took a crate from me, but we thankfully got that dealt with. Was a bit of a tussle at the point of pickup because I tried to take it away from them again, and they just didn't agree with me telling them that it's my crate. But in the end, others chimed in and we got the entire thing sorted out. And yeah, I'm kinda going for the big minus 10 centimeters lowering right now. Ah, that was the wrong turn. Wanted to go to the supermarket for some reason. But yeah, that whole thing, I'm glad that doesn't happen too often, but I'm always a bit weirded out by the entire thing and how it all works, because with multiplayer, the rate at which some of the stuff processes in the different industries, if you supply them, it's dependent on the server FPS. And server FPS is usually very low on crowded servers because of the optimization of the game or lack thereof right now. So that still needs quite a bit of improvement in the future. But that also means that I'm just waiting so much longer for anything to be done there. And you're just hanging around, waiting for multiple minutes until your package is processed to take it back. It's not amazing. Okay, 30k right now. I could also play a few other upgrades, but apart from maybe refueling, which seems appropriate, I don't really need anything. I could go for a turbocharger, but I think if we get the suspension down quite a bit, that would already be a huge upgrade. I'm thinking maybe lowering the back a bit more than the front, because the back seems to be quite a bit higher. Makes the thing look more aggressive, but I think maybe just lowering the back by full 10 centimeters and the front by maybe 8 or 7, depending on when it looks even. That might be the better way to go. I don't know if this was my turn. I don't think it was, but yeah, the town definitely has quite a unique layout here. So it's not all just rectangular blocks or something, which is nice that it's a bit more dynamic. But also means that sometimes you just take the wrong turn. Okay. Just gonna drive back in here. Hide from the police. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna go with these now. Always wanna go with a maximum amount, but I'm not gonna take on deliveries to multiple places here. That's a bit more interesting if you're using a car for pizza delivery. And by that I really mean the Stella. Because that's the only one that can really hold a decent amount of pizzas without being too overwhelming. But then again, you are holding so many that they are worth not all that much. What I'm meaning to say is that using the Stella for pizza delivery is kind of interesting because you have enough capacity to really go for multiple locations. So it's a bit more planning out your route and getting multiple pizzas to areas that are in the same place or in a similar place. Since we can only hold 3 burgers, it's not really working out in that way. And we are just way better off just getting 3 items to the same location. I mean, they're not even the same direction, so I'm gonna go with this one now. I also tried a few other vehicles that I thought would have a bigger capacity, but it turned out that they cannot go through the doors, so yeah, that makes them pretty much unusable here. I could have maybe just taken the borer and loaded up the entire back of the vehicle or my my other pickup truck. I think that's more on the narrow end. I don't think that would have been a good idea. But maybe I'll try between episodes or something. Or towards the end of this one. But yeah, I at least want to get my kit to lower down the car. Might also play a few other upgrades, but I think this is gonna be the last delivery. And this seems to be the best location we can get right now. But this thing definitely beats out the bike. Just doing the deliveries one by one, even if they are worth a bit more at that point. I think this is still a better compromise on capacity versus pay per item. So let's see what we can do with this money now and what kinds of goodies we can get for the car. I could maybe go with a shorter final drive ratios, but well, the town doesn't really have any too long straights, so it's really hard to tell which way we should go. For the deliveries here, it definitely works out with short final drive ratio, but in the end, I want it to be usable for a lot of different circumstances. So first up, suspension ride height. And yeah, I think I'll just apply 2 to the back wheels. I mean, this feels almost balanced now, but I'm not gonna keep it like that. So, yeah, let's go with 7 centimeters in front. Still pretty aggressive, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna come down too much. But this should already be pretty good for drivability. If I didn't tip it over that one time, we would now have enough money for the turbocharger as well. I don't want to buy the stock turbocharger, I want to wait for the real one. But anything else here, I don't think this needs a 6-speed transmission. Oh, this is actually front-wheel drive. I mean, yeah, it makes sense the front wheels were steaming a bit. So maybe we just get this here and maybe brake pads in the end. What's in here for wheel spaces? How does it look if I go for full? No. Definitely not. I want to keep the back wheels in and God, you can't do anything. It's already poking out just like this by having the stuff lowered. That's not ideal. I mean, it already has a pretty wide stance for just default. So I guess I'm gonna keep it like that. Might be worth reporting on this. This is kinda... I mean, can I take these off? Is there an option somewhere? Doesn't seem like it. I can get a taxi license and a trailer hitch. I don't think I'll be needing any of those here. So let's go with brake pads. Going down to 5k. Brake power is not necessary at this point. I mean, I could invest into new tires, but maybe also just getting a few lighter wheels. Let's see, what do we have on here right now? Daffy is 30 kilo per wheel. That's likely the heaviest item on the car. So yeah, I definitely want something lighter than that. Formula SCM, yeah, that's... Sino GT. Ideally, I want to go back down to 13 kilos because that's the lightest rim. I don't know, this doesn't look too great. It's also kind of expensive. I mean... anything else good here? Vista for 1k, Spider for 40, for 1k as well. Stinger with 15k, Touch, Trophy, Renshi, I mean, these don't look too bad on this car, so I guess I'm gonna go for them. They're definitely a bit lighter. So yeah, the last thing to spend some money on. Already have that, and da, 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 da. Do we have money for better dampeners? I don't think so. So I guess this is gonna be it here. We have $3,868 left over. Pretty nice, but yeah, I don't know what else to do here. I can maybe spend them on additional light fixtures, just pimping out the vehicle a bit, but I guess that would be it here. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what I should do with the car from this point on. If I should just go crazy and build up the rest of the stuff myself here. Then again, I think we are almost done apart from the turbocharger. And maybe slightly better. Now we can buy anti-roll bars, I forgot. I don't think we really need the double strength. Okay, we are down quite a bit more, almost at 0 now. So I guess the rest would be going down for a paint job, and that would be it. Let me know what you want to see me do next with this car. I don't think there's much of a reason to continue. We need 10k more for the turbocharger, and that would be it. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one, and bye bye.